Chris here with Diode Dynamics. Today we're going to show you how to install the RGBW Footwell Kit on a 5th gen Camaro SS. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and take out this center console panel that holds our gauges and our cigarette lighter in so we can get power on the back of the cigarette lighter. Using a plastic trim removal tool, we're going to go ahead and get up under here and separate this gray piece from the black piece and go ahead and pull up from the bottom. Slowly, we're going to go ahead and work our way down towards the gauges, popping up the other clips. And then this entire panel is going to pull up and backwards towards you. We're going to go ahead and move our shifter into 2nd or 4th to give ourselves enough clearance. If you do have an automatic, don't worry, just go ahead and move it back towards the back of the car, putting it in driver neutral. And then you can go ahead and take this panel, move it back, and then slide the back end over to the passenger side of the vehicle. With the panel moved over to the passenger side of the vehicle, you can go ahead and take your connector, disconnect the panel, and then we can pull it out of the car. With the console taken out of the vehicle, we can go ahead and flip it over upside down onto a table and then put a rag under it to protect the paint before we go ahead and tap onto these 2 wires on the back of the cigarette lighter. Using a trim removal tool, we're going to go ahead and take this tree clip out of the back of the center console to make it easier to splice our wires. With this tree clip removed, we can go ahead and start peeling back this foam liner and get ready to splice our wires. When you get ready to splice your wires to the back of the cigarette lighter, you're going to go ahead and take your harness and you're going to use the ends without any connectors on them to splice to your actual power and ground. To use this quick splice, we're going to take some needle nose pliers, push them into the front, and then just grab it and make it a little more flexible to pull over your wire. And then you're going to take the open end and you're going to put it on the wire that is not cut. Then you're going to take your wire and plug it into the quick splice that has the closed end on it with the corresponding color of the wire color you're using. With your wires secured in there firmly, you're going to go ahead and take your needle nose pliers and you're going to press down that terminal in order to make connection and tap the wire. With your wires successfully tapped, you can go ahead and take the plastic connector tab, push it back down over your quick splice, and then your power wire is done. For the black ground wire, you're going to go ahead and repeat the same steps using the other quick splice. With our harness spliced onto the back of our cigarette lighter, we can go ahead and plug in our switch using the 2 outputs from the harness. Our black connector is going to go ahead and go on the outside of the switch, while our power is going to go to the inside. With our wiring harness connected to the back of our console, we can go ahead and come back in the vehicle, and then we can go ahead and grab our Bluetooth controller and our DT to DC adapter as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove one of these 10mm bolts in front of the shifter, and we're going to use it as the ground for our toggle switch. And all you're going to need is a 10mm socket with a ratchet, and we're going to go ahead and use an extension, but take that off and we can go ahead and connect our ground. With our bolt removed, we can go ahead and take our isolated ground wire supplied with the kit, slide that back over our bolt, and then put that back in the vehicle where we just took it from. With our isolated ground wire installed, we can go ahead and take our connector and then plug it into the golden terminal on the toggle switch. So you can go ahead and connect the console to the factory harness on the vehicle just to go ahead and check for power. Go ahead and plug your DT adapter into the connector on the Bluetooth controller. Then you can go ahead and plug your entire Bluetooth controller into the DC connector from your wiring harness. Now you'll know whether or not you have power by the indicator LED on the toggle switch. You may or may not have power depending on whether or not the key is on, so go ahead and try it in different positions. Once you confirm that you have power to your switch, you can go ahead and route the rest of your wires and then mount your RGBW Bluetooth controller. Now it may vary depending on your application, but we're going to go ahead and use the passenger glove box area up underneath the dashboard. With all of our wires routed for our Bluetooth controller, we can go ahead and mount our RGBW LED strips where we want them. That way we can see where the wire ends are going to be and zip tie everything out of the place nice and securely. Now for this portion of the video, we went ahead and put the center console back loosely just because we're going to be shooting from some tight angles, but don't worry about doing that. Before we actually mount the LED strip, we're going to go ahead and wipe everything down just to make sure it's nice and clean and we get good adhesion all the way across. So when we're actually installing the LED strip, we're going to go ahead and take this tape right off the end, and we're going to be careful not to remove the adhesive from the LED strip, but just remove the paper from the adhesive. When you get the tape pulled back just a little bit, you're not going to pull it all the way off because you're just sticking the end down in order to get the placement for where your LED strip is going to be. So first I'm going to go ahead and just place the end of the LED strip where I think I want it, and then I'm going to align the rest of the strip before removing the rest of the paper and then sticking the LED strip where I want it. You just want to work from one side to the other and then slowly press down on each spot where you want the adhesive to stick. So you may have had a flat surface to mount your LED strip to, and you may not need to use zip ties, but we recommend just go ahead and using a couple of them anyway if you have a location to do so, just for a little added security. For the driver's side, we're going to go ahead and repeat the same steps that we did over on the passenger side, starting with cleaning everything up, and then go ahead and finding a nice place to mount your strip where it's going to be out of the way. So when you're mounting your strip, you want to go ahead and make sure your MA connector is over towards the middle of the car or wherever you're going to be mounting your Bluetooth controller. With your RGBW LED strip mounted, you can go ahead and take the MA connector from the end and then route that wherever you best see fit for your MA controller. Now it may not reach, you just need to go ahead and use one of these M8 extensions and you should be just fine. Once you got all your wires routed, you can go ahead and plug in your M8 connectors to your Bluetooth controller and then tuck everything away with some zip ties, or you can also use our 3M adhesive pads included in the kit. So once you have everything else routed, tucked away, and cleaned up, you can go ahead and take your switch and then route it wherever you need to, whether it being a hard mount on a piece of plastic, or if you just want to loosely mount it with some wiring harnesses or something like that down by your feet. And then you can take your center console and put that back in the same way that we took it out. With our new RGBW LED strips installed, not only will you get to experience a variety of different color outputs and patterns, but you get that isolated white chip that allows for a true white output on the actual strips, as well as a higher chip density, which basically just means our 5060 chips are closer together, giving you a fuller output with brighter color. Our new RGBW strips come with an M8 connector, which allows you to directly plug into our new Bluetooth controller design, giving you the ability to change colors, outputs, and much more on our new DD app with your mobile device or phone. If you're interested in a set of our RGBW strips, Bluetooth controller, or any of our other products, click the link below to visit our website or use the dealer locator tool to find a dealer near you. Thanks for watching.